Hello everyone, this is Srivastav from Team CipherSync, and this is our third session of Study Jams. Today in this session we are going to talk about a lot of things that are very important in terms of blockchain development, as well as you would be learning on more things about the deployment over the Sepolia testnet networking. And I believe from the previous sessions, that is session 1 and session 2, you have already learned about the solidity, because this is the basic language that we use in order to create the smart contracts. In this one, we are going to study about metamask, EtherJS Hardhat, then remix, metamask injector, and in the end of the video we would be creating a D application using React and Hardhat. So what is metamask? Metamask is simply a gateway to web3. You can relate it like you have a bank account and you have any payment application like GPay or PhonePay. Metamask is simply a wallet like that, and it acts as a bridge and connects browser to the Ethereum blockchain network. Okay, and let me actually tell you more, like what does this line mean, like bridge, what is a bridge? Okay, so let us consider like you have your browser, Chrome browser. Okay, so how this Chrome browser is, like how is Chrome browser is going to be compatible with any Ethereum, with any blockchain network, because Chrome only supports web 2 like you can say web 2 HTTP requests. Okay, it does not know about what is a blockchain request or how transaction happens and all different that kind of thing. So we have created many wallets, like we have metamask, then we have, like there are many wallets, there are a lot of different wallets, and they act as a layer on top of a Chrome, so that our browser can easily interact with the blockchain to retrieve information, to send information. Okay, so now let me read it for you. Account management. Okay, so the first functionality that metamask provide is the account management, and this simply refers like completely holding the private informations and critical credentials for your account, as well as some things like how much tokens you have on a particular blockchain network. Okay, the next thing is transaction signing. Okay, so what is transaction signing? It you know that in blockchain everything happens through a transaction, and transaction signing is allowing a particular transaction to be performed through your wallet or through your account. Okay, it in simple terms. Okay, now next come up with remix plus metamask plus Sepolia. Okay, so now we are going to create our, first of all we are going to create our metamask, okay, metamask account. For that, first of all what you have to do, pretty simple, you just need to install the metamask extension that is easily available on any Chromium based browser as well as on Firefox, and many new browsers also developed their support for it, so there is not, this is not a big deal. Alright, so you can install this. Alright, so after installing this MetaMask extension, you will be like prompted up with this kind of window. Now you have to simply agree to their terms of condition, and obviously you don't have, like I am thinking you don't have any wallet, so you can either import if you have one. But for creating any new account, it is pretty simple. Just click on new account, then click on create password and agree to their terms and condition. Next. Okay, so this is an important step. You should be having your secret recovery phrase very like secure, as well as like you must not be losing this, because if you lose this phrase, there is a high chances that you won't be able to ever recover your metamask wallet, and since it deals with real money, then that's why I'm saying that you should be having this like pretty securely. Okay, for now, this, since it is only for a demonstration purpose, I am skipping that step, but you have to save it somewhere on your computer. So after this one, you can see that completely like our account is now ready. We can obviously from transaction we can switch to testnet by simply clicking on show testnets and then selecting Sepolia. All right, so our first step is done. Now let us go to second step, that is getting some test tokens. So how we are going to get some test tokens? Now, to get some test tokens, there are many different websites that provide test tokens for Sepolia and other test networks. But for time being, I believe the simplest one is obviously Google. We all trust Google, and it is very straightforward. Simply go to Google Sepolia testnets, or and then you have to sign in with your account. Select the Ether Sepolia Ether, copy your wallet address and paste it, and click on get your free tokens. Okay, yeah, pretty easy. Okay, this process might take some time because sometimes the servers are slow. Be patient. And yeah, there you go, you got the free tokens. This is like you can get these amount of tokens each day.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on to our next step. This is deploying over to the Sepolia network using Remix. Okay, so this is the contract that you have developed in the past session, I believe session 2, and now we are going to okay, so till now what you have been doing, you are actually deploying it over a virtual network, okay, provided by Remix. Like if I click on deploy here, it is deployed over a virtual network, not a real network. So this is obviously good if you are testing and if you are like doing random transactions, then this is definitely nice one. But now if for example if you want to, like obviously all the function work as it is, you all have seen it, but if now you want to somehow deploy it over the Sepolia network, how we are going to do this? Once again, this is pretty simple. Just click on the environment and then select the metamask option there. Inject provider metamask. Okay, if you have any other wallet installed, then it will show up right over there as it is. Okay, click on continue in order to connect your metamask account with the Remix IDE. After connecting it with the Remix IDE, all you have to do is simply exact same thing. Okay, nothing new. Yeah, one thing that you have to make sure is that select the correct wallet account, otherwise you might face some issues if there are multiple wallets connected to it of same network. Okay, since I only have one wallet, there isn't any other wallet showing up. You can click on deploy, and as soon as you click on deploy, oh yeah, one thing more, keep track of which network you are deploying. Okay, here you can see this is showing the chain ID. Okay, now hit the deploy button, and there you go, you have the prompt opened for your transaction. This is what I was talking about when I said that it helps in signing the transactions. So this is how it helps in signing a transaction, that it gives you prompt that if you want to continue this transaction with your account or you don't want to. Yeah, we obviously want to continue, so we did continue. It might take up some time because the Sepolia test network is the real test network, so it won't be that quickly. They go wait, yeah, here we go. So now you can see that we have successfully did our transaction, that is we have deployed our smart contract over this Sepolia network. And if you click on this link, view on Ethereum, you will see this is the transactions record. There are a lot of things that you can obviously study about, and these are more advanced things, I believe. Okay, now this is transaction block that has been embedded, or you can say added, to the Sepolia network. Okay, and this is the verification part. Okay, this is the verification part. This is how you verify that if your transaction is done or not. Okay, there are different ways to get your transaction hash. Like you can get your transaction hash either from this terminal, or okay, like we are getting this from here, and if I go to home and hit the search, alright, so as I hit the search with this one, you can see here is the transaction hash, like transactions detail, and all those things are there. So now if you want to get the transaction, like somehow your terminal is not available, obviously it won't be available when you are like on real website or developing a website. Terminals won't be available to you. You have to go to the your metamask, and the metamask wallet always contains the transactions history and all the data. Now if you see here that is created, you will see our address. Okay, it is showing address, and in parentheses you have created. When I go and search this address, you will notice that this is the exact contract that we have deployed. Okay, now you can see clearly that this is the contract's own address, that this contract is now running over our Sepolia testnet with this particular address. Okay, alright, now let us do some transactions, like let us interact with our contract. It is exactly the same. Okay, all the functions are running. Let me check the owner. Who is the owner? Okay, now this remix ID retrieved the owner. So who is the owner? Obviously this is my account. Okay, this is exactly the same account, but you have to know the fact that currently we are interacting with a live network. Okay, previously you have been interacting with a virtual network. Now this is a live network. Okay? And let us do a transaction over this live network. Let me give the name apples. I think it can let me check if it can be in decimals or not, just to show you that it like if you give some wrong input, then it will definitely not going to work, or no transaction will be revoked. Okay, as you can see, since I have provided with decimal numbers, the transaction is not revoked. Okay, so metamask is not even doing anything right now, till now. Now if I change to the correct digits, like correct parameters, then metamask should be working properly. Okay, let's give a big number in order to differentiate it later. Alright, you can see once again transaction has popped up, and you can click on continue. This obviously takes time because this is a live server, so it will definitely be taking up more time than expected. Virtual machines never gives you idea about timing. Okay, they just do the operation so quickly that you will never actually realize that this takes a lot of time. Okay, be patient. Okay, Sepolia networks are really like heavy, so it will take time. Okay, so we have got the confirmed transaction. Let us go to our smart contract, do a refresh. And if you go to events, this is the binary code, and if you go to events, alright, so this is the first event that happened with our contract. Now there are different parameters that has been emitted by the event. Now they are all in hex, but we can obviously change them to string and numericals. I have to look onto that which one is actually string and which one is number. So let us randomly do this. Okay, this looks numerical, I believe. This is not text. This is not text, obviously. This is let me see. This is int string. So there is one string. Okay, this is definitely numerical. Is this the string that we want? No, this is not. These are definitely not the strings that we want. Let me check the last one. String text. Yeah, so this is the text that is apples that we have emitted. Obviously, if you remember that that we inputted apples over there in the transaction, and this is the exactly same thing that was showing up, and others must be numericals. Okay, so yeah, this is the exact price that we have given. The first one is the ID, the second one is, okay, let me zoom it. Okay, the first one is the ID, the second one is the generated hash, I believe, hash code, after that we have 10, which is the quantity. Okay, which is the quantity. Yeah, this is the quantity. And the 6, what is 6? Let's see. Okay, 6 is something I believe we don't know. Anyways, so you can see that this is how emission of the events happens with respect to contract. So what we have done till now, we have already gone through this step of getting some test tokens, and after that we have also done the injection of metamask within the remix, and also we deployed our contract and did some transactions, and also we have verified everything on the Ethereum network. Okay, so we are ready to go to the next topic, and our next topic is working with libraries. Okay, there are different libraries. So first one is Ether.js, simplifying Ethereum. Okay, what is Ether.js? Ether.js is a JavaScript library that helps us to interact with Ethereum blockchain. What does that mean? It offers a clean, intuitive API. Okay, so you don't need to worry about all these fancy terms, because I will be explaining them in very like normal things. So okay, let me draw something for you guys. Okay, so let us say we have our application here. This is our apps front end. One second. Yeah, here we go. This is our apps front end, and we also got our, once again, the main Ethereum network or blockchain network, whatever you wish to call it. Okay. Alright, so how is this front end, the application is going to know that some kind of contract exists on this blockchain network, and how, like, what kind of values but that particular contract returns to us? So in order to have the understanding of all those things, like in order for our front end to know what those things are, we need one thing, that is contracts instances. What is a contracts instance? And it is kind of a template. Okay, in layman terms, it is just a template which tells our front end that this particular contract exists on this particular network with these particular parameters and these particular returning values. Okay, and how we are going to create an instance? Obviously Ether.js, because I am explaining you the Ether.js library. It should be obvious, right? With Ether.js we can create contract instances, we can run the blockchains like functions, we can call the functions of the contract and get the values from it. What it helps in transaction management. Okay, securely manages your transaction and all that. Now next library is Hardhat. Hardhat is our development environment. Why do we need Hardhat? First of all, we need Hardhat because if you see, the complexity of your project increases, then Remix is definitely not sufficient. To like provide you all the things that you might need, because you need a lot of complex algorithms to be executed over your contract, to be tested, and so that your contract's real abilities are completely tested before putting it into a production server or before putting it onto a real server. And Hardhat actually provides us with all the tools for compiling, testing, developing and deploying the contracts. Now things that makes the development with Hardhat efficient and reliable are two main important things. That is local network. Okay, it gives you similar like as Remix does. Remix gives you a virtual environment. Okay, so Hardhat also gives you a virtual environment where you can simply run your scripts, your contracts, you can deploy them, you can run your scripts, you can use those virtual accounts to do the transactions. Then we have testing and deployment automation. Okay, as I say that you can run the scripts. Okay, what is scripts? Like automated scripts. Like once you have wrote a code, that code will be will be running automatically. Now next, okay, now let us move on to next thing. That is React EtherJS plus Hardhat. So why Hardhat? We will obviously see it. First of all, let us set up the front end. In order to set up our front end, yeah, before that, one thing I wanted to tell you guys is that I will be providing all the codes with a GitHub repository within the your description in the YouTube. So if you guys are not able to, like, obviously you won't be able to write all of those codes, so you can simply go to the repository and see the codes right over there, because here I will be explaining only the codes that are relevant with respect to the blockchain. Okay, blockchain domain. And also you should be having a basic minimum knowledge of node. So before that, since we are going to create a front end, I will be fast forwarding this video, because okay, yeah. And also, if you are having issues with node.js, if you don't know how node works and all that, don't worry about it. We would be having a separate video for node and React itself. I believe it is the fourth video of in your web domain, so don't worry about that. I will also be taking that. So I will be explaining about node.js and React in that particular session, which is on 17. Okay, so yeah, first of all, we are creating a content folder. I am creating a simple React app, basic React app. Okay, let me fast forward it, because you guys obviously it is quite lengthy. So alright everyone, now our front end app is ready. It is just a basic app, grocery store, and also, like, but it does all the functionality that we would be requiring. Now let us go back and create a new folder with the name of blockchain. Okay, I'm using this terminal. You can obviously use the simple file explorer to create the folder, and inside this blockchain folder, first thing that we require is to create a node project. Okay, we will do npm init in order to create node project. You can name it whatever you wish, there isn't any issues, but it is always better to separate your files in different folders. Now with this one ready, we have to do npm. Okay, now we have to do the installation of Hardhat. So okay, yeah, this link is also given in the ppt, and I would be providing in descriptions also. So first of all, we have to install obviously Hardhat. We have to install the dependency. These code snippets are available right on the Hardhat's official website as well as in the ppt, so you don't need to worry about copy pasting them. Just simply run the script and you will see that our Hardhat project is now initialized. After that, we have to create a Hardhat project. Okay, like Hardhat library is installed. Now we have to initialize the project. Click npx hardhat init, then select the JavaScript. With this one done, you will be provided with some basic template of and basic folder structure of a blockchain development folder. Okay, you can see there are different things. If within this contracts folder, we will be creating all our contracts. This is regardless of the name. Like it is not necessary that the name of your file should be equal to the name of your contract, because there can be multiple contracts within a same file and all different things are also there. Now after, okay, so I have copy pasted the contract from the remix. It is exactly the same contract. Now in order to deploy, we need to create a deploy script. Okay, so we are creating a deploy script inside ignition/modules, because this is the standard. Okay, we are following the standards of the like syntax and folder structure standards of the industries. This is how it is done, and this is kind of conventional thing. Okay, the first module that and or the only module that we require in order to deploy our contract is build module. Build module is available inside Hardhat ignition slash modules. Once again, these codes are available on the GitHub repository. Don't worry about them. So first of all, you have to import the build module. And after that, you have to create one function that which would be running this build module. Obviously, if you are importing a function, you have importing a module, then you have to run it inside a function. This function is also needs to be exported, so I am using the standard CommonJS module exportation syntax, that is module.exports equal to build module. What it does is that it directly exports the function. Inside this build module, the first parameter that you would be passing is the deployer. This is a string. You can name it whatever you want, but say in order to keep things understandable, we always use standard nomenclature things. After that, you would be giving it a arrow function. Okay, this arrow function. Okay, now just you need to write two codes for deployment. It is very simple. First thing, you have to declare your my contract constant, which is equals to m dot not deploy. It is, I believe, m dot contract. Yes, it is m dot contract. M dot contract. M dot contract. Yeah, inside the parenthesis, you have to first provide the name of your contract. Remember, guys, the name of the contract should be equivalent to the name of the contract inside the file. Okay, irrespective, you don't need to write gs. Okay, here you only need to write grocery store over there. And with this bracket, you can pass on some parameters if you wish to. If there are any constructors and they require parameter, then you can pass it, but if not, you can simply leave it blank. Now you have to return this my contract. Okay guys, so with this one, our deployment script is ready. As you can see, it is pretty simple. There are no bulky codes. With Hardhat, it is very easy. Now let us do npx hardhat compile to see if our contract compiles properly. Now as the contract compiles, you will see there are things called as artifacts. These artifacts are nothing but actually they contain the deployments artifacts like ABI, the possible different bytecodes and all different things within them itself. In order to deploy it over our local network, first we will check if it is deploying properly. We would be writing npx hardhat ignition deploy, और उसके बाद and after that you will be having your file name, file path, relative file path. So as I hit enter, you will see that my deployment is working properly and I am also getting the deployed address, but currently this was for test purpose. Okay, we have not yet deployed it onto our network. For deploying it on the network, we have to do --network / localhost. With this one, as you see, I hit enter and it is telling me that cannot connect to the network. Okay, so this I believe happening because I have not yet created the hardhat node. For this, you have to open new terminal and write npx hardhat node. One second. This should be working fine. Let me just check for a second. The command is correct. Okay, yeah, okay, I got it. Actually, I forgot to enter into the blockchain folder, and that's why it was showing me to install the dependencies. First of all, cd blockchain, and then you have to do npx hardhat node. So after this npx hardhat node, you will see that our virtual hardhat network is now completely running fine. Now if you do run the exact same code, you will find that our contract is not deployed, and inside this ignition folder you will see our deployments folder created, and within this terminal you will find that our blockchain is now running. Okay, the contract is now deployed onto the blockchain. Alright, so guys, now there are different information about the blockchain, like on what address it is deployed, and also okay, now before proceeding, I would like to set up my front end as well once again, so that we can interact directly with the front end application of ours. Let me go to the source code. Okay. Now, for EtherJS to create an instance of the contract, we require two things. The first one is actually three things. The first one is obviously the contract's address, that on what address that particular particular contract is running on, and the second thing is contracts ABI. What is contracts ABI? I told you that ABI is nothing but the artifacts that contains the bytecode and information that okay, this is the contract and these are the function data also as. You can do the import. Okay, so you can import the ABI from the place. Okay, as I told you that there is a deployments folder. Okay, so yeah, there was some error in the recording, and that's why I have to I just skipped the cut was there. So you can see the ABI is taken. Look at the contract address is taken from deployed address.json, which is available under your ignition/deployments, and also in the terminal you can copy the contract's address, which is available on the terminal as well. And right, for the ABI, I am taking it from the ignition/deployment/chain and /artifact. Okay, inside this artifact you have this deployer grocery store.json, and within this we have our ABI. So I am importing our ABI directly from there. Okay, now after this everything is very simple. Once you have these two things, you just need to initialize an instance of the contract, and then you can run any other function. For example, I have connect wallet, or maybe I can okay, wait a second, I will explain you with this easier function. One second. Okay, I had it there. Yeah, there it is. So you can see this is an async function. Why async function? Because blockchain things always take time. That's why we have it as an async function. Otherwise it would have been throwing us with errors. Now we have constant provider. What is a provider? Who is our provider? We have metamask as a provider. Okay, so first of all we are going to window.browser provider, like Windows of Ethereum. That gives us the provider. Now that provider, which is metamask, will be giving us the accounts that we need, like who is the signer, who is going to perform these transactions. So we are taking the signer right from the provider, and after this we are creating the new instance with using new ethers.contract, providing it with the address, then API, and then the signer. Now since the signer is very important, and this is the address that is going to perform this transaction, and also API is taken directly from the built-in contract, we can now call any function. For example, I'm doing the function called await.contract.addProduct. This add product is exactly same as what we did with the remix. And yeah, one thing more. In order for our metamask to interact with this local network, we actually need to add it, because it does not come with the default one. So you have to click on this select network icon, and after that you have to click on add a custom network. On clicking on add a custom network, you have to provide it with a name. Then you have to provide with a RPC URL. So what is RPC? So what is RPC URL? RPC URL is nothing but the port at which your local virtual Hardhat network is running on. You can see JSON RPC server at http ://. Okay, so this is the thing. Just need to copy it and paste it. Okay, you have to paste it right there and click on add URL. Now chain ID. What is chain ID? Chain ID is nothing but deployment/chain. Okay, this number is the chain ID 31337. This is the chain ID. Give the name. Then the URL. in the last we have the chain ID. This is actually same for every like local Hardhat network, but still it is better to check. Provide it with any symbol, you can give it any symbols. Alright, so now if I switch to the local Hardhat network, you will see that my main account does not have any tokens because this does not even interact with the Hardhat. But if you go to the accounts provided by the Hardhat, you will see it is just slightly less than 10,000. Why? Because by default it has consumed some fees from the first account, which is the default deployer account, or you can say a default owner account, to deploy this particular contract onto its network. Now let us quickly do the transaction and the verification part. Let me add Banco, hit that product. Okay, we have the window. Once again, the bytecode exactly same as we did with the remix one. Confirm. And here we go. You can go down, 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 and you will see this. Alright, so our transaction is once again successful, and we have understood how we can interact with the Hardhat's local network. Obviously, you can run like instead of a front end, you can run some scripts that would do the exact same things with it, and perform various automated tasks inside the deployer itself. It was just made so lightweight so that you all can understand it pretty well. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. And yeah, what we have done, we have actually did everything. Like we have set it up the Hardhat, we have deployed over Hardhat local network, we also did the testing and transaction and everything. So once again, if you guys are facing any difficulties, you can reach out to us on the queries, WhatsApp queries. And yep, that's it guys. Hit the like button because we are really putting a lot of efforts into making these videos only for you. Also, yeah, for help I have added these installation of Hardhat and Node right in the end of the PPT. You can look onto them. And yeah, this is the thing I was talking about, the documentations. Okay, this is for help. If you guys like are not able to do it, this is just a. That's all for today guys, and thank you for watching till the very end. Okay, bye bye.